Do you guys ever get really frustrated whenever you're gambling or betting on sports? You know, you just can't get through the mental block of whether it's winning or learning how to lose or any aspect of that. Well, that's what this video is going to be about today. How to get through mental blocks when it comes to sports betting and gambling just in general. First thing, when it comes to mental blocks, it's very tough to, wire your mentality. Very tough. It takes practice. You got to be able to practice your mindset. You got to be able to practice how you are going to go about whether it's betting on sports or just any type of gambling just in general. All right. It takes practice to get to any type of level of anything. First thing I want to talk about here is me, because I was in the same situation when it came down to, basically having that mental block. All right. I was stuck in the mental cycle of thinking that I needed to win every day. So this is a common theme when it comes to people betting on sports or people gambling, is you think you need to win every single day and you can't handle it when you don't. I remember I would sit there and pretty much, whether it be, betting on a couple games or just one game, and then I end up taking a loss. And I'm like, well, what else is there to bet on? Because I'm going to need to recoup this, right? I don't want to just take an L for the day. I want to recoup this. I want to get my money back. So then I'd start looking at, what other games are playing live or what games are coming on to end the night or anything like that. And those might not have even been games that I, want to look at per se, but it was something to bet on. So I was like, oh, let me go ahead and let me just throw some money down on this game that's ending the night, because I'm going to try to recoup my losses on that. About 90% of the time, it was a bad decision, and then I put myself in a bigger hole. All right. So the thing is that once I was able to realize that, it's okay to lose. Nobody wins every single day, and it's just something that you have to get used to. So once I was able to get used to that mindset of all right, I took an L for the day. Let me go to bed. And then when I wake up the next day, it's a new day. Let's go right back at it again. That's when I was really able to free my mind, because you have to be able to limit the damage. So, you take an L for the day, you got to go to bed. It's just the way it is. You got to go to bed. It's the only way to do it. You go to bed, forget about it. If you got to take your phone and shut your phone down, if you got to block yourself out of apps or anything like that, then it is what it is. You got to do that stuff. All right. That's just the way that it goes. That was how I was able to kind of change my mindset, with being able to accept that, I'm not going to win every single day. And then there's going to be days where I do end up losing. All right. So let's go over some of the common mental blocks, that goes through with just gambling in general. So fear is the first one. Fear that you're going to lose money and you're never going to be able to get that money back. Everybody hates that feeling, right? You're scared that, if I put 500 on a game and I lose, well, I'll never get that 500 back. So what do? You go in your pocket and you're trying to double up or so, trying to recoup that. You need to understand, like I said, that even when it comes to, losing money, it's going to happen, and it is what it is. Take it like a man, and then, go to bed, you wake up the next day. Next thing is greed. So this is on the opposite spectrum. So this is when you're winning. This is a common gambler's mentality sometimes, is because you've been in such a big hole, your whole life in betting, and you're kind of just thinking if I've lost $30,000 over the last year, well, your little wins, they're just not enough, right? It's I don't want to win $500 when I'm in a hole 30,000 for the last year. That's not good enough. I want to win my 30,000 back. So greed comes into play when it comes to that. It's never enough. So you just keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. Next thing you know, it switches right back into the losing streak again. Then you put yourself in a hole. So you can't get greedy. Next thing is impatience. Thinking that you need to bet on every game. This was my biggest problem. I was impatient because a lot of times during the week, let's say games don't start till later on in the day. You wake up, you want to put action on something. If you're like, okay, well, I don't want to have to wait 12 hours before games go off. So you become impatient. Next thing you know, you're betting stuff overseas or something that's going on early in the morning or something like that. You're betting stuff that you don't need to be betting, which, is just a recipe for disaster. All right. So don't think that you need to bet every game. Don't rush any opportunity that you have. Wait until, and pick the games that, you have down that you want to bet on. Don't just bet on anything because it's just going on at that moment. Now, another thing is being biased. So listening to your gut, listening to your favorite team. I'm going to bet on them because I love the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to bet on them every week. And guess what? You're probably going to end up losing most of your money doing that. All right. So when it comes to doing this at a high level, there are no favorite teams. There's no gut feelings, because your gut feeling, I'm going to say about 70 to 80% of the time is wrong. And I'm going to tell you that from experience. that it is wrong. When it looks too good to be true, it usually is. All right, so let's go ahead and go through one by one here and how to combat these a little bit. All right, so when we are scared to lose money, it's often because we're playing with money that we can't afford to lose. Then you're scared to lose that money, right? That's just the way that it goes hand in hand. So if you always keep a bankroll, which is, your money that you have set aside, you're never really sweating it. Because if it's money that, you can afford to lose, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Now, I'm not saying, you shouldn't take it serious when you have a bankroll and you have money on the side that you can afford to lose. I'm not saying don't take it serious. You still need to be able to take it serious. But you're not going to be sweating it, as bad as if, well, this money that I'm putting down right now, if I don't win, I'm not paying my bills this month. So you got to be able to, put money aside and have that money be able to just be your side gig, until you develop more money and you bank more money in that, or you learn how to do it. All right. Once you learn how to do it the correct way, then, you can start using that money to help yourself and help with bills and stuff like that. All right. Never bet more than 1 to 3% on any bet. If it's too good to be true, this is a play that's definitely going to win no matter what, 100% of the time. No, it's 1 to 3% no matter what. No play is better than any other play. All right. At the end of the day, a play is a play. So that's just the way that it is. Let's say you bet 10% on one game and you lose. What are you going to do? Go back to 1 to 3%? You're not going to do that because now it's going to take forever to recoup that. So, you stick to that 1 to 3% and you stay with that. You don't vary outside of that stuff. Next thing, how do we combat greed on the opposite side of the spectrum? When we start winning. No matter what you win, big or small, consider it, a win is a win. When you win big, it feels good. When you win small, it still feels good, to be honest. When you get that feeling of winning, you're like, oh, like this feels good. Like that was free money, right? Like I didn't really do much for that money. Oh, it felt good. So no matter if it's big or small, consider it a win is a win, no matter what. In the end, we're just looking for that winning feeling, like I said. So don't focus on the dollar amount so much. All right, focus on the necessary steps of coming up with a play that will give you the best opportunity to win. Don't focus on the money aspect too much. Focus on the game that you're looking at or a player prop that you're looking at. Look for the plays that are going to give you the highest opportunity to actually win, and the money will follow. All right. Next thing is, how do we combat being impatient? Like I said, this was one of my biggest things, is being impatient. Being impatient just comes down to wanting a win the quickest way possible. So that means not waiting or betting now. But you got to realize that if it's not there, then it's just not there. All right, guys, that's just the way it is. All right, do something else. All right, go work out, go spend time with your family, go to work, go do whatever it is that you need to do rather than trying to bet, soccer at 6 o'clock in the morning, ping pong in China at 8 in the morning. All right, there's other things that you can go do, instead of doing that stuff. Go be productive on something else. All right, whether it's working on yourself or working on your family time or working on your job. Next thing is the bias factor. All right. As you can see the picture here, guy's holding his gut because that's what it is, the gut feeling. Your gut feeling is always wrong. Right? I'm just telling you guys that. I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, like I always, I still win. I still win when I go with my gut feeling. Well, 60 to 70% of the time, you're losing that. All right. It's the way that it goes. Trust me, because I've been there, done that. All right. Everything that I preach to you guys, I have been through myself. That's the reason why I'm, teaching you guys about that stuff. Gut feelings. Oh man, this game is definitely going to go over. You got 2 stacked offenses. Oh, this is going to happen. Guess what? Game goes under. I'm telling you guys right now, gut feelings, throw them out the door. You need data, you need statistics to back any type of gut feeling that you have, not just because you feel like it's a good bet. That's where the sportsbooks make their money at. Most of the gut feeling people. Now, overall, on how are we going to combat these mental blocks? Fear, you play with money that you can afford to lose, because if you do that, you're not going to sweat. You're not going to be scared that you're not going to be able to pay your bills if you lose a certain bet or not. Greed, realize that a win is a win, no matter the size. All right, we just want that feeling. When you're being impatient, if it's not there, just move on with your day. All right, you can't do anything else. Do not bet on just random stuff. Now for bias, like I said, gut feelings, they're mostly always wrong. So throw it out the window. When you have a gut feeling, pretty much think in your head that you're probably going to lose. So don't go with it. All right, guys. But that is how you're going to be able to come through and break through mental blocks when it comes to sports betting. Also, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you guys go and check out some more of the other content that I got as well, whether it be strategies, helping on your mindset or anything like that, your bankroll management as well. Make sure you guys go check all that stuff out. Also, make sure you guys give me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see everybody in the next video. Till then, I'm out.